I don't know if you have been paying close attention to the current constitutional amendment conversation going on. But if you haven't, I have, and I must commend you that you're on the right channel, as today I will show you why Nigeria will never work and there will never be a peaceful dialogue when it comes to the constitutional change. Welcome to my program, to my channel. If you're just joining us, please kindly like, subscribe, and share. So there's something interesting going on. Okay, in the South, what headlines our conversation in this constitutional change are just three things. One, resource control. Secondly, let us have regional system of power between the 6 zones. And then thirdly, the indigenization bill. All right, in the South, currently there's a conflict between the indigenization bill and in the Middle Belt. Because what Hope Uzodinma actually said is interesting. I support everything he said. For me, I am not even against the indigenization. It's only the people of smaller minds that are afraid, that think that other states or other places cannot equally flourish like the Southwest. Now, let us talk for the North. We'll still go back to the issue of the South, but let me talk specifically about the North. For the Northerners, do you know what actually headlines their own conversation? Their own conversation is basically, let us create more states. They know that when they create more states, they have access to get more funds from the FAC. They have said that one of their recommendations is to ensure that the federal allocation account, okay, will further be advantageous to regions with more states. Just imagine that selfishness. Are you with me? In the North, they are also saying that the policing system must be jealously guided. The democratization, or should I say the development of the policing system, must be done with careful attention. At this stage, the Northerners are getting killed like cockroaches, like mosquitoes, and yet instead of them to come out and speak in unison, right? You see those core Northerners that call themselves the Arewas. I'm talking of the Kano, Katsina, the Sokotos, the Zamfaras, the Boronos. Those guys are the enemies of this country. And this is why I've said we cannot have a peaceful dialogue for something such critical, for something that the northern oligarchs have always relied on for their sustenance and sustainability of power. You see, I have so much to talk about. I will read some articles and some reports for what the people of the North are saying. The northern core Northerners are not even talking about let us push for resource control. Okay, that conference, all this conversation they had was basically let us have more states. In the Northwest, they demanded for additional 5 states. In the Northeast, they are demanding for additional 7 states. Now, in addition to the North, they want to collectively add 7 plus 5, 12 additional states. Meanwhile, in the South, we have basically asked for just maybe 1 or 2. In the Southeast, we know that it is obvious that in the Southeast they need to have more states. At least, if not 3, let's say 2. Anioma State and some states within the axis of Calabar and Akwa Ibom. Some extraction of that needs to come out. Right? In the Southwest, we say we arguably, I think we need 2 more states. In Oyo, we need to break Oyo into at least 2 states, and then Ogun State needs to be broken down to at least maybe 2 states. And that's it. In the South, they are not even demanding for anything like that. They are simply saying, we want our resource to be controlled by our state governors. Just the same thing like the Southeasterners, as Uzodinma has cried out that Fulani people have nothing to do with the gas in my place. Right? These are all Tinubu's men who are speaking the minds, the heart, and the intentions of the president to the north. And you think when these conversations, when this argument get to the table of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, a Fulani man, you think he will say he want to ascend the bill? I have watched carefully. Constitutional amendment. The chairperson for constitutional amendment, why does it have to be a northern Fulani man? Why didn't they make a middle belt town? And if I thought they want to go to North Central, why can't they find a middle belt town? Why can't they find those who have been agitated? Why can't they find an Igbo man to be the chairperson? You see the intention, you see the gimmicks, you see the scam. Everything I have said about the constitutional amendment is for Tinubu to checkmate, to expose, and to tell us who the northern people are, and of course to buy the sentiment of the south and the middle belt. And for me, I think he is what? Achieving that simple aim. PWB has not said anything about the constitutional amendment. He has not contributed his own quota. The only thing he has said, and that was immediately post 2023 election, was I think he kind of aligned with what Article is also demanding, that let all regions have a rotational system of presidency. Either 5 or 6, let us come to that them. If the turn of the northwest, after that it will go to the north of the southwest. After that it will go to the turn of the northeast. After that it will go to the north of the southeast. After that it will go to the turn of the north central. Whatever that is, that is the only thing Obi has talked about, and that was way back in 2023, 2024. For me, I think that's right. But again, the North are strategic. They are not going to mention anything that has to do with resource. When I saw something like North talking about resource, mining, let the state have the right, the autonomy, let them be the ones who control the mining site, and I carefully checked. Do you know what I saw? I saw the North Centrals. The North Central people are the ones seeking for resource control in the North. And the North Central, for me, are not North. They've always seen themselves as non-Northerners. Yes, they might have accepted Hausa as a language of trade, but that doesn't take away their culture, their identity. All right? They have said that they want to have devolution of power in terms of resource mining, license, and control. But the North have not said anything about that. Lest we forget, there is gold in Zamfara. Myself, in Oyo State, I have never for one day gotten a penny from that gold mine in Zamfara. But the lithium in my backyard in Oyo State, the bauxite, the gold, the oil in Ondo, the oil in Akwa Ibom, the oil and gas in Imo and Abia has fed millions and millions of the Northerners in Zamfara State. You see why they will be very careful? You see why they will not want to talk about resource control in their conversations? They would not. You see why they are so strategic? Why they feel they will not talk about it. You see, another thing they talk about is for traditional rulers to have more power and more decisive decision-making position in their local politics. You know why they are doing this? You know why they are doing this? It is simple. It is simply because they want to ensure that all the emirs in the north down into the middle belt continue to control the politics. Traditional leaders who are largely the custodian of the Fulani hegemony and agenda continue to have a say in the politics. You see how strategic they are in the north. However, in the middle belt and in the south, our own conversation rallies around, surrounds resource control, local policing, rotational presidential rotation among the six geopolitical zones. While in the north, they don't care about that. The only thing they want is more states, their traditional rulers having more power and more decision making status in the local politics. You see? You see? Now let us talk about the South. In the South, we agree on two critical things. And now we are divided on the silliest, the mundane of things. When I talk about the South, I don't see myself as a Yoruba person alone. I see myself as a Southerner. I see myself as a man who has opportunity to succeed even in the Southeast, even in the South, because I believe that we have similar culture, we have similar way of reasoning and thinking than the North. Yes. So for me, when I talk about that, why are we having issues on indigenization bill? I don't always seem to get it. You see, when you see the Yorubas, the Southwesterners going against the indigenization bill, it is just simply a plot to protect Lagos. Take away Lagos from Southwest, what do we have left? Can I be so proud about my Oyo State? Is Oyo State as beautiful as Enugu State? I have been to Akwa Ibom State. Can I say Oyo State is as beautiful as Akwa Ibom State? Can I? You think if Akwa Ibom State out tomorrow have a functional seaport and industries begin to come there, you think I will take this primordial sentiments that my fellow people have because they feel that Lagos must be protected by all means? And you know the craziest thing? When it comes to total the solution of this country, I bet you, my fellow Yorubas, Lagos will tell you that they don't want to be part of Southwest. Have you not had it just some weeks ago? When the sons of Adenija had delayed, some people on Twitter, on social media were saying that the Yorubas in Oyo, in Ijebu, in Ogun should not come and tell them what they have to do in Lagos State. Have we not seen how so many Lagosians have been saying that it is the people of Oyo State, it is people of Osun State that is ruling them, that they want to chase them out? So what is this fuss? What is the fuss about? What is the nagging about? What is this inferiority complex about? For me, in the South, our bills, everything, we must accept it, we must work with it. If I am a Yoruba man and I find that out, I see an opportunity in Imo State and I grab it. I succeed. I haven't given birth, I haven't married a lady there, and in 10 years' time, I have an access to apply for the indigenship. From the indigenship, I can participate in many things. If the state does not want a person that is not by birth to participate in politics, then let it be legislated. It's as simple as ABC. But for someone who has invested heavily in a place for over 10 years, stay there for consistently for over 10 years and not have right to indigenship, I think it is primordial, I think it is archaic, and I think it is anti-South. Yes, for me, I think it is anti-South. If you do not have, yes, some levels of threshold might be injected in that. Maybe after 10 years, there is no tangible development that you've brought in. Maybe after 10 years, you did not marry a lady from that state. Maybe after 10 years, there is no physical investment that we can say, okay, this is what this guy has done. Perhaps you're just a riffraff roaming around and you've stayed there 10 years. Yes, you might not be recognized as an indigent, right? I mean, to protect the indignity, all of that can be done. But the outright rejection of that indigenization bill by the Southerners, for me, breaks me. No, yeah, it breaks me. And this is not anything, maybe I am an Omale, because I know so many people come, attack me, say all manner of things. Please, of what advantage would it have been for the South if we have always said that the non-Yorubas should not come and invest? Of what advantage would it have been? So many society, so many communities, so many villages have been turned to a place of, of high development because immigrants came in, they brought India. And when I'm talking about immigrants, I'm not talking about Igbos alone. We have Fulanese, we have Middle Beltons. It is not as if these guys are coming and then they pose a security threat. They don't, for God's sake. You see, what do we agree on in the South? Yes, we want resource control. My resource, my VAT allocation, my internal generator revenue shouldn't be going to the core northerners. No, I should be able to manage that within myself. Let me be the one that will decide this is what I want to give the north or what I want to set into the central pause. You get? Yes. Talking about the state policing, yes, we agree on that. We all unanimously, unequivocally, we all agree on that. But on this issue of indigenization bill, I don't know how I will come in and speak to every one of us in the South one by one. If you are listening to me, I beg you in God's name, let us be open-minded. We cannot continue to limit ourselves. We are not our own enemies in the South. If the Middle Belters are the one crying, no, we are against indigenization. Yes, there is an existential threat because why? We have seen how the Fulanization agenda has been a threat against the very existence of the Middle Belters. Yes, we have seen it. The Middle Belters can hardly pass any local laws to fight the Fulanization agenda if the federal government does not intervene. But in the South, that is not the case. I don't think the Igbos or the Hausas in Lagos, in Oyo today, can pose any threat to any local laws. They can't. You see, with this agenda of, let me protect my culture by the Yorubas who are against the indigenization bill, why are they not against the Muslim burial of the Awujale of Remoland, one of the most revered king in the Yoruba land? He wasn't buried by the traditionalists. He even wrote down an instruction that he wants to be buried through the Muslim rite. Why are they not against that? Why are we living leprosy and chasing against those that have just simple dandruff? Haba, simple Damatol cream, rub, it go cure leprosy. I mean, dandruff. But leprosy, we know that one needs serious medical attention. We are not doing that. We are not going against the Northerners who are requesting for more states. We are not ready to fight against the Northerners who have seen an avenue that if they create more states, they will be able to extract more resources from us as a collective in the South. We are not going against, we are not asking the North that, why are you not demanding, the core North, why are you not demanding and pushing for resource control? Why? Why are you saying that your traditional chiefs and leaders, the sultans, the emir, why are you saying that they should be more powerful? Why? We are not asking such. We are busy fighting, targeting the Igbos, targeting those that is their own case and just dandruff. A simple law. You think an Igbo man is ready to risk his business? You think an Igbo man really has an interest in what we call indigenization? There's a word in Igbo that they call, I can't remember that word, where for every investment, make sure you build something at home. Make sure you build something at home. Right? How many Yoruba people have that culture? How many Yoruba people have that culture? Most of us, we call ourselves Yoruba. When we're in Lagos, we build everything in Lagos. But in real sense, we are not Lagosians. Yes. You think if a war breaks out today and everybody has that decision, that latitude to take a decision, do we sincerely think Lagos will say they want to be a part of Southwest? Have we not seen their body language? Have you not seen how Lagos has betrayed Southwest in so many occasions? Did we forget how Awolowo tried to do everything? Let Lagos be part of Southwest. Let Lagos be part of Southwest. Did we not know how Lagos will say, no, they want just to be on their own. They are a colony. So what is this about? Why the unnecessary fracas with our co-Southerners who are simply just interested in doing their business, well, developing where they are doing their business? And it is normal for humans to seek for more. They marry our daughters and they believe they speak our language fluently, they respect our culture, and they believe, okay, let us be a part of the politics. If we do not sincerely want them to be, then we just have to pass a local law, period. But that doesn't mean they cannot be an indigene. It's as simple as IBC. Okay, if an Igbo man marries a Yoruba woman, haven't spent 15 to 20 years in Lagos, in Oyo, that Igbo man, are married to a Yoruba woman, and then they give birth to a child in that state, whether Oyo or Lagos, are you telling me that boy in the future does not have a right to contest for governorship? How can we be so little in our thinking? So let us have that second thought. Thank you.